Hey there, everybody, welcome back. Let's continue on with our exploration of factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. We are on our example videos. So we're just going to go through a bunch. And I showed you how to do it by grouping or changing the grouping. It's important to note you should always look for a GCF first. Okay. That last one we had 12x squared plus 59x plus 72 in the last video. 59 was prime, so there was no common factor. But there might be in today's or this lesson's. So let's just jump right into them. 2x cubed minus x squared minus x. Hopefully you can all see that this has an x for each term. And if I divide by x, I get this. I'm looking for a times c is -2. B adds up to -1. Looks like 1 and -2 works. The first number I could check. So I'm going to split this into 1 and -2. I will have x. Don't forget your x. That x we factored out needs to be out there. I'm going to do 2x squared plus x minus 2x minus 1. And now we'll do by grouping. I still have my x out front. This has an x in common, and that is a 2x plus 1 left. I should have another 2x plus 1 left. And it looks like if I factor out a -1, I will. When I put this all together, I have this x out here. I have my 2x plus 1 right here. And x minus 1 goes together now. And if you don't think that'll work, multiply back out and see that you get 2x cubed minus x squared minus x. It should work. But I'll run through it for you. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times 1 is x. And now we have 2x cubed minus 2x squared. I'm doing FOIL right now. Inside is plus x squared minus x. Combine those together. I got 2x cubed minus x squared minus x, which is what we started with. All right. So start pausing these videos and give them a try. 18x squared minus 18x minus 4. Looks like this has a 2 in common. So we'll work with that. Now I'm going to work with these ones. 9 times -2 is -18. And it needs to add up to -9. So add to a negative means the bigger one's negative. Two and -8 or -9 is -7. We skipped it. Which means that doesn't factor any further. 9x squared minus 9x minus 2 is prime. But we did factor out a 2. So that's the factored form. Okay. Next problem. 15 minus 2x minus x squared. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like having the x squared negative. What I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out a negative sign right now. And that puts x squared in front. That makes 2x a positive 2x, and 15 becomes negative. Okay. I'll show you doing both ways. Now that we have this, we're looking for 1 times negative 15 is negative 15. Adds to 2. So negative 1 and 15 is 14. Negative 3 and 5 is 2. So those are my factors. I'll factor out, I'll do them in pairs. X times x minus 3 and 5 times x minus 3. And I have negative. If I do it all in there, I've got x minus 3 and x plus 5. And at this point, I don't need the bracket anymore. The other option for doing this problem is to reorder it in the correct order, because it needs to be, the A has got to be this one. A is negative 1 is on the x squared. It always is. It's got to be in the right order. B is negative 2. C is 15. Again, multiplying to negative 15, this time adding to negative 2. So 1 and negative 15, 3, negative 5, negative 2, 3 and negative 5 work. I will split negative 2x into negative 5x plus 3x. And then I got my 15. We'll do it by pairs. Here I can factor out a negative x. I'm left with x plus 5. And here I'm left with, if I factor out a 3, I'm left with x plus 5. So I end up with x plus 5 and negative x plus 3. Earlier, I had negative x minus 3 and x plus 5. Is that the same? If I multiply in the negative, this becomes negative x plus 3. Yes, it is the same. Okay. I like to work with them with the x squared being positive. It's always your choice. Let's do some more. Give this one a try. Two x squared plus 5x minus 10. All right. A times C is negative 20. B is 5. Multiplies to a negative, but adds to a positive means the bigger number is positive. Negative 1 and 20 is 19. Negative 2 and 10 is 8. 3 doesn't go in. Negative 4 and 5 adds to 1. B equals 5 is right in here, which means this is prime. Found out fairly quickly and the trial method, it may take you forever to find out if you ever do. I've seen students try to do the trial method on an exam. I can't tell you how often. It's a terrible method. Until you're good at it, it's a terrible method because you might just get tired of guessing and go, nope, it doesn't factor when it does. I strongly discourage you from that. Let's try 20. Ooh, let's kick up our game. What? WTF, Mr. Jones? Pause it and go ahead and give that a try. All right, I will assume you did. I noticed that they all have a Y and a Z in them, and they actually all have an X. 13 is a prime number, so I don't need to worry about, and 20 doesn't divide by 13, so there's no constant in the GCF, but the GCF is going to be XYZ. And if I pull that out, I have 20x squared plus 13x minus 72. And now this is looking like OMFGWTF. I need 20 times negative 72. I don't even know what that is. Where did you get this problem, Mr. Jones? That's negative 1,440. It needs to add the 13, which means I'm going to be able to jump ahead quite a bit. Because if I try negative 1 and 1440, I got 1439. I'm going to jump to, this is divisible by 10. I'm going to try negative 10, 144. This is 134. Still not far enough. Is 1440 divisible by 11? I think we got a lot more to go. Let's try by 20. 1440 by 20 is 72. I'm still not close. What about 40? Negative 40 and 36 is negative 4. So I passed it. Maybe it's further up. Is 1440 divisible by 30? It is. Negative 30 and 48. That's 18. That's not good. Still further up. It's between these two. So now I'm going to pick a number between negative 20 and 30. Let's try. It's not. Oh, it is divisible by 3. It could be anything. Let's try 21. Oop. Jesus. Nope. 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 Negative 24 and 60 is 36. I'm still not the 13. 13 is going to be between this. Let's see what, I don't have a lot of options left. I can try negative 25 between these two, negative 25, negative 26, negative 27, negative 28, negative 29. It's got to be between them because, wait a second, 13 is between these two. What am I doing? Checking the wrong area. 13 is between these two. So let's try between these. Let's try 31. Trying the wrong area. Let's try 32. There it is. There it is. We found it. That tricky son bitch would have been hard to guess and check. But we found it. We can split the 13x into negative 32. Wait. Yeah, negative 30. That's 13. I wrote the wrong number there. Negative 32 and 45. Now the greatest common factor here looks like a 4x, leaving behind 5x minus 8. And these numbers have a 9 in common, leaving behind a 5x minus 8. Use the table if you need to do the LCD or the GCF. This finishes in factoring. We've got 5x minus 8 times 4x plus 9. And I don't need the bracket anymore. That would have been a doozy to find with guess and check. And we were doing like a systematic guess and check, but just randomly guessing numbers without an order to it, you're fucked. All right. That seems good. That's long enough video. Enough practice there. Next one. Now we're going to go back to 4.3 and show how it's different. All right. Peace.